I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 million every week. I wanna be a billionaire. I ain't getting no sleep till I see $1 billion every week. I wanna be a billionaire. Billionaire. I wanna be a billionaire.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas. Now today, you are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. You have a special guest on the show. This is the legendary adult film star, Miss SARA Jay. How you doing today?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show. I mean, I didn't think this was going to happen. I mean, I hit you up a few months ago, and then, it was hard to get in communication, but we finally made it happen. And again, you don't know me from a hole in the wall, but you're contributing to my dream today.
Oh,
so I just want to thank you for coming through.
Definitely,
thank you. It's an honor. So, how you doing today?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Yeah, feel good.
Life is good?
Life is great.
That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that. And so basically the synopsis of this show is to get insider information for those looking to be in your position. But I kind of want to get more in detail, because this is my first time interviewing, an adult film star. Okay. So I kind of want to get into, your mind and your thought process along the way, even before you got into this career. So, I mean, let's start from the beginning. Where you from?
I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay. Go Bengals. Sometimes.
Yeah, I went to University of Cincinnati for a while.
There you go. Okay, so Cincinnati, Ohio. How was that? How was it coming up over there?
I don't really like Ohio. I don't really like where I'm from. It is what it is, but I also feel like I appreciate it because it made me the person that I am.
There you go. That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
It's like a fairly like racist place, and like race is always like an issue. Yeah. Yeah,
I noticed that. Like the day, because I just told you, I just went there last week with my girl. That's where she's from. And the day we landed, there was a Trump rally going on, and I was like, God damn! Like I didn't come for this.
When I was growing up,
I want to try your skyline chili. That's it.
How do you like that? How do you like it?
It was amazing, especially when I was.
People love it or hate it. No, it's the best at 3 a.m.
Of course, everything's the best at 3 a.m.
My mom used to get that to me for lunch at school. Like she'd pack it into a thermos.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like we lived on Skyline. Love that shit.
That and Frisch's.
Oh right, here they call it Big Boy. But,
the big boy,
right. Here's Big Boy for you.
Basically, a Big Mac with tartar sauce.
Right. Yeah. There's like one of the cool things about Ohio is that like we have like all this fast food that's not available anywhere else in the country.
Right.
The Penn Station, which is like a sandwich kind of place, kind of like a Quiznos kind of great steak and fry kind of thing.
Yeah.
We got Skyline. There's UDF, which makes it's like a 7-Eleven, but they make their own ice cream, and they have like little ice cream bar in there.
Okay.
Fucking delicious.
Yeah.
God, I used to go stop and get gas and get a milkshake. It was just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like literally, the times I have gone back home, I make the round my way around the fast food there.
That's what's up.
I try to lose a few pounds before I go.
That's what's up, man. So tell me, what did Miss SARA Jay want to be, before you got into this industry? What were your dreams and aspirations back then?
Honestly, I wanted to be the best
at
anything.
Okay.
Like, I was always like really, really hard on myself. I was really good in school. I had the opportunity to graduate high school early. I didn't because we moved and stuff, but I had all my high school credits done early, and I had some college credits done early, and I was like, whatever you put in front of me, I got it, And I had a lot of interest, I was open to kind of whatever. I assumed that I would either be a psychologist or I didn't really want to be like a full-blown psychologist. I want to be like a counselor where I could just help people out. I didn't want to have to prescribe medicine and stuff like that.
Just kind of talk people through their problems.
Like therapy, let me help you out. Just let's discuss this,
Yeah.
And I also like working in offices, I really like paperwork. I know it sounds so stupid,
that's cool.
But I'm really organized and stuff.
Yeah, I worked in an office for 12 years, but I was in sales. But still, I understand.
Yeah, I get a lot of satisfaction out of completing tasks. So you give me a to-do list, and I'll be like check.
There you go.
Yeah. So I always assumed that that's the kind of stuff that I would do, and then I met my ex-husband.
Okay.
And He
This
saw
is like after, this is during your time in the office. How
Yeah.
old were you at this time?
like 18, 19.
Okay.
Like, yeah, this is early.
So you got married early.
I got married early,
What
yeah.
year you got, I mean, how old were you when you got married?
19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not
It's
bad.
kind of early.
I mean, yeah. You know,
Yeah,
when you're in love, you're in love.
Right, for sure. And he was like the most different, unique person I'd ever met in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So he saw that I was working 4 jobs. I was going to college full time.
4 jobs and college student.
Yeah, I was taking 14 credit hours. I was working a full-time job, 2 part-time jobs, and then I had like a side hustle or 2. You know,
Mhm.
like yeah, I was doing this and that. I was selling Avon. I was waitressing. I was working in offices. I was doing telephone surveys. I'm like doing everything because I don't like to like really compromise my life. You know, like I'm not greedy, but at the same time, I want to live a certain way. You know,
Absolutely.
like I want to eat when I want to eat, when I want to eat it, and like I don't have to think about like budgeting for food and like just necessities, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always like kind of busted my ass just to maintain a certain kind of lifestyle. I mean, I was still poor even, but I just didn't want to be like a broke college student poor. I wanted to be like a single person poor.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and so he was like, "Why don't you start stripping?"
Mm-hmm.
He was a bouncer for strippers, and I was like, "Oh, me stripping?" Like.
So when he first told you this, were you insulted or were you more like intrigued? Like, could I?
Totally intrigued. I hadn't even thought about it. Like, I'd never been to a strip club. I didn't know any strippers. Like, I thought I had total misconception of what a strip club was. Like, I didn't know anything about, like, I'm from Ohio. Like, we just didn't really have a lot of strip clubs in the first place. And I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, it was like a foreign world.
Yeah, I mean, it was in something in movies, you know? Like,
like Showgirls or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Me? Like a stripper? Are you sure? Like, I had just shaved my head. Like, you know, like, really? And I started stripping. And before you know it, like, I cut one job and I cut another job and I cut another job. And then I was just going to school and stripping. And then I was like, why am I going to school? Like,
So basically, so you saying you earned a good living stripping?
I earned a great living. And, like,
were you two married at the time yet?
Like, we were like off and on, like we hadn't like fully gotten together, but yeah, it was. And so yeah, right around that time is when we sealed the deal, and I really liked it. And I was like, being of a business mind and somebody who can do anything, and I have the motivation to be the best at whatever it is that I do. I was going to be the best stripper that like there was, you know?
So with that being said, you know, when it comes to like being the best and then you're stripping and then applying the tool, do you think that stripping would lead someone into other things, like a gateway drug, so to speak?
Okay, so like what my plan was, like once I saw like how lucrative it was, and I was like, oh no, like people can make money doing this.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot for some photographers, just like modeling, like nude modeling, like, you know, I'm going to shoot for some photographers, get my name in some publications, and then I'm going to go to every strip club that I can reach and feature perform there.
Okay.
Right? Like I wasn't totally aware of like how the whole system works like I do now, but that was like my thought process was like, I'll do some magazines and then I'll tour strip clubs.
There you go.
That's cool. And then I started to realize like being in Ohio, there's not as many photographers and like those opportunities are not necessarily available.
It's a small market.
Yeah, and like you really have to get into specific publications in order to get your name branded to be able to like sell to other strip clubs to feature.
Yeah.
And but one of the cool things in the meantime is I started working at a strip club by a casino in Indiana.
Okay.
And I made a lot more money like that. And I was like, oh, this whole casino strip club thing is like a good combination.
This is where it's at. Okay.
So I moved to Vegas.
There you go.
Yeah. I was like, there's a lot of strip clubs.
Yeah.
And a lot of casinos.
The land of strippers.
And casinos and strip clubs. Money, like, this is great, okay? So it just made sense. So we moved to Vegas, and that was cool, except for the fact that I was kind of still making the same amount of money. Like,
why do you think that?
Because instead of being a big fish in a small pond, I was the small fish in a big pond.
Okay.
There was a lot more strippers. I mean, I worked in a strip club with like 15 girls.
Okay.
And these strip clubs have like 300 girls. You know, like, and there's multiple strip clubs with 300 girls.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it was just like so eye-opening because you're dealing with so many different kinds of people and so many different kinds of other girls and issues, and you see people with drug problems and like violence and like, yeah, it's just like, wow, it's super educating.
Right.
And also exhausting.
Right.
And I was like, after about, I guess like 4 or 5 years, I was like, I need to figure out an exit strategy.
This was in Vegas still,
Yeah.
and you wanted to do the exit strategy.
Yeah, I was like, I need to figure out like an exit strategy. What is it about this job though that I like? And I liked the fact that it kind of made me more aware of my sexuality, because before I was like a little bit of a tomboy and like slightly awkward.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I really enjoy that. I like people clapping for me. I like people like, you know, giving me like the ego boost. Yeah, the attention and the ego boost. This is nice, right? And I really like sex. Like, and at that time I was married, you know, like, so I'm like, okay, like I really like sex. Like I would like to have sex. That would be great if I could have sex. And being in Vegas, there was one girl that was like a porn star that worked at the strip club. Okay. She was like a part-time porn star or whatever. And then we would get them come through every now and then to feature perform, and I would kind of like try to pick their brain and stuff, like, oh, like, how'd you get started? And I'm like, oh, that's exciting. Like, can you like help me out? You know? Inquiring. Yeah, like that would be interesting. And like my husband was very secure in himself and secure in our relationship, so I figured it wouldn't be an issue.
So he didn't have no problem.
I just asked him one day, like, hey, can I be a porn star? And he was like, if that's what you want to do. I was like, that's what I want to do. Okay. So yeah, I finally got a break. And I did a movie, and it was terrible, and it never got released. Not terrible on my part. Like, the guy couldn't like get hard. It was just like a mess. And so that didn't really go anywhere. Then I got another break, and I got hired by this company, and I did one scene, and it was really funny because my misconception of what a porn star was like so wrong. Like, or my conception of what a porn star was like such a misconception.
What did you think a porn star was prior to
the best fucker ever.
Okay.
Because I was always trying to be the best, right? So like, the best fucker ever. Right. So I get onto set, and I finish the guy off in like 5 minutes maybe. Yeah. And they were like, we've still got like 25 minutes worth of footage we need. Right. So we
got to give him a sandwich and let him come back to speed.
Yes, and I was like, oh, okay, so I need to not. Yeah, right. Yeah. So that was like my first scene, and it didn't really lead to a lot. But in the meantime, I was like taking Polaroids. My husband took Polaroids of me, and I'm just
during the set.
No, I'm set the stage to like let you know like how old I am and like date myself here, right? So like, before digital film.
There was Polaroids. Yeah.
There was Polaroids. You had to take naked pictures on Polaroids because the Walgreens or whatever will not develop them, right? Yeah. So like, he'd take the Polaroids. I take those Polaroids to the library. And I go to the scanner in the library, and I scan the Polaroids onto a floppy disk. And I take the floppy disk back to my house.
Floppy disk, wow. I remember that.
Take the floppy disk back to my house, and then I start looking online for emails to send it to. Now, at the time, the internet didn't have porn sites at all. Right. And, like, but they would have, like, pages. Okay. So, like, if you went to, like, hustler.com, it would have, like, information about their latest magazine releases and their latest VHS releases. Yeah. But it wasn't, like, porn on there, you know?
Like, on demand.
Right. So, but, like, a lot of times it would have photo credits, or it would have, like, the webmaster at hustler.com, or, like, this photographer took this. So I would just start finding email addresses and just send my pictures to, like, all the email addresses I could find. And a guy named Mike Hammer contacted me, and he was a photographer from New York. And he was like, hey, I'm in Vegas right now. I am actually producing the Exotic Dancer Expo and Awards. And if you come down, he's like, there's a little bit of crossover with porn. And if you come down, I'll introduce you to everybody that I know that could help you. I don't know, it's like...
When you say a crossover with porn, what do you mean?
So, like, exotic dancers don't necessarily do porn, and porn stars don't necessarily do exotic dancing. Okay. But some of them do both. Oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, he was like, I know some people that are relevant in the adult industry, and I can connect you, and we can see what we can do. And we hit it off good, and I ended up going to New York right after 9/11. Like,
that's when I left.
Yeah. Like, I did a couple things in Vegas, and then right after 9/11, literally October, like the beginning of October, after the original 9/11, I took an empty flight to New York City. Like there was like 3 people on my plane.
Wow.
Yeah, like that was such a weird time because like
nobody wanted to fly.
Nobody was flying, and that was like kind of like my first adventure out as an adult flying, like not with my family as a kid, you know?
9/11,
yeah, like right. So like I didn't even realize like how weird this was, but like for like probably 2 years, I got the whole row in every flight I took. You know, like you got all 3 seats because they was always empty.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I went to New York. Went to another show out there. It was called the East Coast Video Show. Met a ton of people because that was specific to porn.
Right.
I met a ton of people. I shot a ton of stuff. And I went to New York and shot a ton of stuff. And yeah, just snowballed.
It just kind of snowballed.
Yeah, like I did a good job. I was easy to work with. People liked me. And I kept in contact with everybody. Like I would always, reach out whenever I was going to be in the area. And then I just started traveling back and forth. Like I lived in Vegas, so I just started traveling back and forth between New York and LA, getting like whatever gigs I could get. And yeah, voila.
Well, that's awesome. Man. It sounds like your career just flourished after, you took all those trips and then worked your way up.
You have to take
top.
like a lot of initiative though, and like now that we have agents. Back then there wasn't really agents. There was like one agent. So now they have agents and managers, and there's a lot of like people set in place to help people with their career.
Right.
And back then there wasn't. So you had to run it bad.
Right. No, I get it. No, and that's great. That's one thing I appreciate about California. That everything is structured here as far as entertainment, because I act as well. So, I have my agent, I have my manager, and they find me opportunities along with myself finding the opportunities. So it just makes things a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily need an agent and manager, but if you don't, then you need to do their job.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, it sounds like you're a natural born hustler.
I am. I've always been a hustler.
Like. So when you got this, notoriety, everybody knows you, SARA Jay, you killing the game. Is there a lot of like, did you get any like backlash for doing what you do?
Of course.
Yeah.
Not from my family though. Like I don't really have a lot of family. Like I kind of got like just my mom, my stepdad, and they're like completely supportive of everything I do. And, the backlash was like from people they're not important. Like I don't really care what you think.
Yeah. There's just people you don't even know.
Maybe people I went to high school with, or like, strangers. Like I especially got a lot of hate mail at first because, I started right out the gate doing what we consider, I don't even like this term, but we don't even have another term for it. Interracial porn. And because I have sex with people of color on film, I got a lot of backlash for it at first, and just delete. I don't really care what you think because this is me. Yeah. So like the backlash that I've gotten and like the criticism is all from people that I don't give a fuck about.
Well, I mean, as long as it doesn't like affect you and what you're trying to do, then it's all that matters.
Not at all. Like the people that support me are the people that matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So this wasn't mind blowing to your parents. Like when they heard about you, they were like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" They were just kind of like, "Hey, that's what she wants to do."
Man, I eased them into it.
How did you do that?
Yeah, like they're really liberal and like open minded and stuff, but at the same time, nobody wants to hear that their baby girl is having sex on film. Like right out the gate, you know what I mean? So I told my mom and dad that I was stripping. They knew about that. And then they knew that I was doing some stuff for photographers. And then I let my mom know I was doing like some nude stuff with photographers. And then I didn't use the word porn. What I said was I was doing live nude action modeling.
Okay, that's a nice way to put it. Because it's like each word could mean a different thing when you put it together. It sounds great.
Yeah, it's kind of like porn, sort of, right? And but my mom's also like one of these people. Like, okay, that's fine, whatever. Yeah. So she didn't really push about it. Like, okay,
congrats.
Not even congrats. Okay, you work. And you like your work, and you make money, and you seem happy, and you're not affected. That's okay. And then as the years came on, and we got more comfortable discussing like what I do, and she now it's great because she takes real pride in like all of my success. And it was one of those things like jumping into a pool of water. You know, you got to put your little toe in
Right,
first,
right,
yeah, and then
absolutely.
your foot, and then your leg. You know, but yeah, now
And
it's
your
great.
stepdad was cool with it.
Totally.
Well, I mean, he's a stepdad. And
Yeah.
you didn't know your real father?
No, I knew my real father, but like, yeah,
Relationship
yeah. I stopped talking to him like a long time ago.
Yeah, no, it'd be
Yeah.
like that. Like me and
Yeah.
my real father, like him and my mother broke up when I was
Yeah.
like 3, and then
Yeah,
my
yeah.
stepfather came. He's been in my life. He recently passed away, but then
I met my stepdad when I was 12.
Oh, okay.
So he's been through all the important shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as long as they're supportive.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Now, tell me about like the weird shit you hear from like fans. Like, you know, like, oh my God, it's Sarah J. Like, I could imagine guys are lined up just like jerking off to you and shit.
all that, like, wow, you name it, I've heard it, I've experienced it, like, yeah, everything from.
What's the weirdest, or like the one that you was like, whoa?
Oh gosh.
Or are you just numb to it since it happened so much?
I'm kind of numb at this point, but like one of the early ones that always sticks out in my head is like, I was probably like maybe 25, so I'd been doing it for a little while. I got notoriety, but it's still like super foreign to me. Like I'm really humble. I'm like really a normal person. So like it was still like just strange. I remember I was in Atlanta, and I was in the mall, in like the Perimeter Mall, with my assistant. My assistant lived in Atlanta at the time, and this guy comes like running out of the store that he works in and like literally crying, like jumps on my back and it's like, oh my God, Sarah, it's you. Like, I can't believe
he jumped on your back.
like, you
That's
know,
like
a bear hug,
yeah.
like, you know, and just like crying. And he had like, I guess he had seen me walk by. And so he wrote his phone number on a piece of paper. He's like, please, you've got to call me. Like, yeah, it was just like, so I was like, wow, I'm like really provoking emotions in people. Like this guy just fucking lost it on me in the mall.
Yeah.
And so that's like one of the first things that I was like, wow, okay, I'm doing things out there to people. Yeah, you know? Yeah, so but
never had nothing crazy like somebody like try to rape you and shit like that.
No, God, I'd fucking rape you instead.
No,
like, I'm super tough. Yeah.
Crazy,
no, I have security and stuff now. And I guess that's one of the other times that was like really crazy is the day I decided that I needed my own personal security.
Yeah, well, what happened that day?
That was a rough day. So like I'm in Jersey because we have a convention in Jersey every year, and it's usually like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And after the convention on Sunday, I went to see the Watch the Throne show, right?
With Jay-Z and Kanye.
Right,
Got it.
back then. And Jersey boys are wild, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I lived in Jersey.
Yeah, you
Patterson, yeah.
Jersey boys are kind of wild.
Yeah.
A little aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Wild and aggressive, right? So I'm at the show, I'm with my girl, and we're like not sitting on the floor, but we're close to the floor, like on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a girlfriend that's sitting on the floor though.
Right.
So like her and I, the show hadn't come on yet, and the lights were still up. So it was like broad daylight in the arena, and we walked down onto the floor. When we walked down onto the floor, the arena started chanting my name.
Get the fuck.
Yeah, and I was like, I was so overwhelmed and like scared, right? Like that was just like a weird thing. I was like,
wow, like y'all know.
Yeah, and then like so we went back up to our seats. So now everybody's done seen me walk down and followed me walk like with their eyeballs, you know, walking back to my seats. So now everybody in the arena knows where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
So like the whole show, the whole concert, like I'm trying to enjoy a concert just like everybody else trying to enjoy the concert, but all the people around me trying to get like sneak selfies, you know, like the guy sitting in front of me is like trying to sneak a selfie of himself with me behind him, and then there's people like climbing over the chairs and wanting to like talk to me, and like. And I mean, like, tons of people, not just, like, one or two, like, 30, 40.
Line,
yeah, there was a line, like, people, like, oh, yeah, look, Sarah Jay's down. I was like, oh, this is scary and, like, overwhelming. Like, yeah, so I have my own personal security, and, like, whenever I do public things, we travel together.
As you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just never know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a public place, but who knows, man?
I don't worry about being hurt. That's not my thing. I worry about being annoyed. Like, I just want to live a regular life and, like, enjoy the show or, like, the movies or, like, maybe go to the mall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, if I just have somebody there to, like,
hold it down.
Yes.
Well, that's good. I mean, at
Yeah.
least you're taking preliminary precautions now.
Totally. I mean, I appreciate my fans. It's not like I'm shitting on them. It's just like at the same time, I do need to enjoy my
You
life.
like your space.
I like a little space.
First of all, we're at a concert.
Yeah.
It's not my show. It's Jay-Z show.
Yeah. So like, Willie, my security, he, will be like, what can I help you with? If a fan wants to approach, and
you got a card, I'll take your card.
Yeah, like I'll be like, do you want to take a picture with somebody? I'm like, yes, I do. And and then we'll take a picture, but it's like, it's nice to have that mediator. So
Absolutely.
I'm not like constantly accosted.
There you go. Okay, well, I'm glad you overcame that obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
So now, let me see. I had another question. So tell me, so now since this business has been so lucrative for you, and you did mention the exit strategy before with your prior stripping days.
Yeah.
Now that you're in porn, is there an exit strategy for you there, or are you going to be
I'm committed.
So you're going to be in the granny category as well?
I'm not saying definitely that I'll be on film. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like, I'm not making a commitment to being on film or off film, but I'm not also retiring either. Like, I still shoot now, and like, maybe I won't shoot for a few years. Maybe I will. Who knows? But the thing is I direct and produce now as well, and I also manage talent. So I'm trying. I also went to film school. I'm trying to be versed in every aspect of the adult industry, and especially the adult film industry. So that way I can provide that information to the other talent that I manage.
Right, and that's what I was going to get at too, because when I say exit strategy, I mean, obviously this is all you know, so I don't mean exit like I'm done with porn. I'm out more so like starting your own Vivid Entertainment and then producing your own films and making the money like that.
So for about, I guess, like 9 years, I've had Wideside Productions, which is my production company.
Congrats.
Thank you. And we produce content for 5 different sites. We also have a different DVD distribution deal. And even though DVDs are like, seems old and antiquated, the whole concept is that you make a project that has a box cover. Whether you sell that in a tangible DVD or you sell it online is kind of irrelevant.
Right.
But regardless, I have, distribution deals, and it's good. And then I also manage talent. I try to, share the knowledge that I've learned over the years with the talent that I represent.
Okay. So now, when you create this content, right, how are those deals facilitated with, those porn sites? Do you just call and say, hey, I'm SARA JAY, I have content, introduce it to them, and then they buy it from you? Like, how does that work?
All sites and all platforms are different. Like with my distribution deal, I have Pulse Pure Play is my distributor. So I make a project, I send it to them, and then they print it up into DVDs. And then I also, based on my contract with them, I am capable of reselling that same project digitally online myself anywhere that I see fit. So a lot of times, depending on the platform, you just upload it. You create a studio account or like whatever, and you just upload it to the platform. And then I also have my own site, sarajay.com. I have wideside.com, and then I run roamajor.com. We provide content for AngelinaCastroLive.com, KarenFisher.com. Yeah, so
you kind of use those platforms as free promotion and sell it direct to consumer from your site.
Yeah, I sell it, right. We sell it everywhere we can, just to be honest. Like any place that there has
it's
traffic.
Available.
Yeah, there's traffic, we put it there. Like, why not? Like, this is the digital world, and everybody gets their porn in different ways. Like, you might like X Hamster, and he might
How
like
did you know?
Pornhub. And he might like Pornhub, and he might like DVDs, and he might want to go directly to sarajay.com. So, like, we try to put a little bit of our content everywhere so that it gets to all consumers.
Oh, well, there you go. It sounds like you got the game mapped out, girlfriend. That's what's up. So tell me now, what's your advice to like, young girls that how can I say this, that don't see another way out, like a little girl in Ohio trying to figure it out, but stuck is a product of her environment, doesn't see no way out. Do you recommend her take the same path you did, or would you suggest other options?
Everybody's mental is different. It really depends on like where your mental is at. You got to be like strong, because you're gonna get people, when you put yourself out there, you get positive and negative feedback. So you have to be strong enough to be able to handle and take that negative feedback and also like process it correctly and like be like, okay, it doesn't really matter, Like, I don't really care what you think.
Yeah.
So you have to, your mental has to be strong, but if it's the right person for the job and they enjoy sex, because you really should do what you enjoy doing, you know? So,
get paid for it, why not?
Yeah, like, and there's too many people that are in the industry that don't enjoy sex, and then they just make a little bit of money and they get out and they're like angry about it, and you know, they end up doing things that they didn't want to do, and then those are the people that end up being bitter about the industry. So love sex, number one, and number two, like, really have a stable mental, you know, and it really helps. If you three are business minded, and if you're not business minded, that you're willing to have people around you that are business minded, so they can help you profit to the best of your ability, you know. I advise people all the time, like, if you feel comfortable doing it, and if all those things are in place, do it. Why not? You know, you always have to take the factor of your family into consideration too, which I've never really had an issue with, but there's plenty of people out there who do. So, you know, as long as you're not concerned about people knowing, because as soon as you take a photo, and I don't care if it's a selfie or a naked picture or sex with somebody, people are going to see it somewhere. Somebody's going to see it. Like, don't take it unless you don't want people to see it, you know?
That's a fact.
So, like, people that get in the industry and they're like, oh, like, you know, I just do this little thing on the side, like, nobody knows. Well, you're not going to make your potential amount of money if nobody knows, first of all. And second, if people knowing is, like, an issue, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
Right.
So if all those things are in place, you know, then just do it. Like, and it's funny, I just got back from Colombia. Interesting, because poverty is in Colombia. There's a lot of poverty, like a lot of poverty in Colombia. And camming has really taken off for the talent in Colombia. And it's kind of been...
You mean webcamming?
Yeah, it's kind of been like a godsend for a lot of these girls, because there's really not strip clubs in Colombia. There's brothels. So if you work at a strip club, you work at a brothel.
Right, which is a whorehouse.
Right.
Okay.
It's a whorehouse, exactly. So for these girls to be able to have the opportunity to cam, they have cam studios set up. That's a safe environment. It's clean and, like, distraction free. You know, you're not going to have your grandma coming in, or your kids, or your dogs, or whatever, you know? So, like, these girls go to these studios with high-speed internet, and they're able to create a fan base, connect with their fans, and make way more money than they could doing anything else in the area. It's really helping them raise their lifestyle.
Well, shit, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, goddamn. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? So, my last question. If you can do it all over again, would you do it the same?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. I would do it all the same. Yeah, I feel like I went into this, like, with intention, and I've had motivation, I've had drive, and I've had, like, the business sense to, like, make it all work. I would totally do it all the same. Absolutely.
Well, that's what's up.
No, I was just saying, like, you know, there's definitely different paths that you can take in the adult industry, and none of them are wrong. You know, like, maybe you don't want to own your own business, and you just would like to be made a star, and there's that path. You know, there's, like, plenty of paths to choose from, but I chose the path that works for me, and I created it, and I built it, and it's still working for me.
That's what's up, man. Well, I'm happy for you, man. Are you married now?
No, I've been divorced for a long time.
Oh, okay. So there's no man in your life that's like, oh, okay.
My partner is my business, you know?
He's doing his job.
Right?
Oh, man, I want to thank you again for coming on the show. This is great. This is amazing. The legendary adult film star SARA Jay is in my presence right now. This is crazy.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, man. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Sleep is for Billionaires, the podcast. I am your host, Johnny Vegas, the lovely SARA Jay. And where can the people follow you and buy all your products and anything like that?
Well, I've got a one-stop kind of shop for everything. It's sarajlinks.com. It's got my official site, sarajay.com, and, like, all the toys and all the t-shirts and all the merchandise that I sell, and all the places where you can see my content on other sites. So SARA Jay Links is, like, the good spot to go to. And, of course, all my social medias are there. The real SARA Jay, it's verified. So look for that little blue check. It's my Instagram account, and SARA Jay XXX is Twitter, and that's also verified.
There it is. Stay tuned for more episodes to come. Thank you for watching. And cut. We out. Cool. Oh, man. That was awesome. That was awesome, man. Thank you, man.